Right, another game hot on the heels of the last one. This time I'm playing Nin against none other than John Travolta himself, or playing under his pseudonym, Vincent Vega. I am using Nin, and oh yeah, that's right, his commander finds all the way over here. He's using Riku, or better known as the blue-red-green commander that's not as good as Maelstrom Wanderer. Anyway, I have an excellent draw with turn 2 Thran Dynamo, as well as Brainstorm and 2 fetch lands. Sort of Soul Ring or Mana Crypt or whatever, it doesn't really get much better than this. He's got nothing. You know he's going first. Right. Count down. Now what? Problem? What's really cool here too is that I can run out my Thran Dynamo and protect it with Pact of Negation from 3 and 4 mana removal shenanigans, and I will happily do that because investing in the Thran Dynamo using a mana vault is a bit of a risk. Just gotta hope he doesn't have Cursing Grip. There's 3 mana right there. 3 visits. Okay. Hull Breach. He did have an answer to it. Unfortunately, we're just going to have to go with that plan. I'm hoping to maybe see Force of Will here, and I would definitely Force of Will over Pacting, given the option. But no, unfortunately not. It's just a dismiss in the wasteland there. So we're going to Pact. I'm just going to wasteland right now, since I'm defenseless on this turn. At least maybe there's a chance that he can't get his commander into play. He doesn't have a 5th land, so it's definitely worth wastelanding there. He does have a 5th land though. And recognizing the urgency of removing Thran Dynamo, he correctly chooses to Zenith to get Reclamation Sage. This guy's so amazing. My god, this creature's just incredible. He's taking out Thran Dynamo, so suddenly we are in a world of hurt, actually. Getting damaged by a mana vault. I only have 3 land out. And some expensive spells in hand, and he's got enough mana to cast Riku. So I fully expect to see him play his Riku, and he doesn't. He goes for Sky Shroud and Claim to get even more land. I'm just going to respond, get a land. Anyway, I'm planning on casting Thirst for Knowledge no matter what, so I might as well just get a land while he's fetching. And Thirst right here. Again, before he can counter it, potentially. He could get a Tropical Island or whatever. Let's see, some more counter spells and Expedition Map. And as much as I would like to keep the map, it just pains me to throw away so much control over what's going on here that ultimately I have to decide to ditch the map. I mean, I gotta trust my deck on a certain level. Put my graveyard over here. I gotta trust my deck on a certain level that I'm gonna draw more land. And the way that I obviously enable the ability to do that is by holding the fort with counters. He is down to 3 cards in hand, and so there's a reasonable chance, you know, if I can just crumple, lapse, forbid, just hold off his whatever spells he draws, I can probably stall out long enough to get some more lands going. So the map is definitely very important right now, but not as important as the rest of these cards in hand. So regret for that toss-up, plus of course the fact that I only have to discard 1 card. It would look really weird to discard 2 counters, like, or Treachery and counter, and keep an Expedition Map. And I do have Spell Crumple also, which gives me a permanent solution to Riku. Trinket Mage. Alright, his mana growth gets even further ahead. And he gets a Soul Ring with that. Alright, right on schedule. I've delivered a 4th mana source. And no point actually in sitting on Dismiss Mana right here. I really need to just get Nin out. And actually my reason for doing this has nothing to do with a plan to use Nin. Because of the way that my hand is, it's very actually unlikely that I'm going to be using Nin's ability for any card drawing, just because the chances of him, with all this mana in play and the Soul Ring, him just passing multiple times and allowing me to use Nin to cast Inspiration are pretty low. So I have every expectation that Nin would just be sitting in play, and I'm actually playing it to block. That's the reason I'm casting it right now. I have every intention of blocking the Reclamation Sage, because with a tapped Mana Vault and taking 4 damage a turn from these guys, I and get in such a deep hole that even if I'm able to scrabble back into the game, I might be so low that damage starts to become relevant. So Nin could potentially save me from a lot of damage. I'm actually going to add up how much it would save me from if I were to just pass it. So we cast Soul Ring, they both come in. There's my block, which we may not have been expecting. There's Riku. We've got the lapse for it. Compulsive Research. I was hoping he'd do like some tutoring thing. I've had that happen before where like he could have actually cast Wood Elves right there where I lapse something and my opponent just casts a tutor or they use a fetch land or something and their commander goes away. But he fortunately didn't do that, and I don't see his creature in the graveyard. Mystic Retrieval. Flashback. Return instant sorcery card. Instant sorcery card from your graveyard to hand. Okay. Alright. Power Stone. So as much as I'd like to sit on dismiss mana, I kind of need to just develop. So I'm so far behind right now. It looks like it's 10 mana to 5. With almost similar cards in hand. There's Riku again, and I can get him out of the game. He's flashing back the Hull Breach. And here's where Vince Vega makes his first big mistake. In this situation, if you are going to flash back the Hull Breach, destroy a Fellwar Stone. Do not destroy a tapped mana vault. That's just doing me a favor, honestly. So I'm not really sure why he did that, especially given that there are some other things in his graveyard, like, say, Compulsive Research, which is a way better card to play right now. He totally let me off the hook there. I have no intent. That mana vault's probably not getting untapped for about 5 or 6 more turns at least. Okay, so that would be another attack from the Reclamation Sage. I'd be at 22 right now. I had taken 6 runs, so I'd be at 18. It's a big spell coming. Sphinx of Thune. As much as I'd like to steal that with Treachery, it's certainly not a guarantee I would, in fact, steal a Mahamoti. And I can't really afford him casting Fact of Fiction right now. And I'm happy, of course, to dismiss a 7-mana creature. There's some more land. I'm just going to throw Nin out now since I've got Forbid to protect against the next turn. Back to Vince Vega's turn. I'm not blocking here, so I would have taken 8 from Reclamation Sage, meaning I'd be at 14. I'm just going to Merchant Scroll, and I'm getting Mana Drain, because if anything has been proven in prior turns, he's got a lot of big bombastic spells now. So I'm just going to set up a big Nin turn. Alright, it would have been 10 damage from Reclamation Sage, and I'm at 10. There's another land he just passed. Been 12. So I'd be at 6 life at this point. 6 life. Not a happy place. Or I would have been forced to, say, block with Nin there and have her shoot herself. And I would have spent fewer mana to do that because I would have had to do it during the attack step. Whatever the case is, you can sort of see that 6 turns ago, blocking a 2-1 with my commander actually really made sense. Because the difference between 18 life and 6, when you're facing a hand of 4 or 5 cards, is enormous. I don't want to ever be in a position where I have to counter burn spells with this deck. And the way you prevent that from happening is you keep your life total a little bit more healthy. Zenith for 5. Well, whatever that is, I don't want to know. So it seems like a perfect mana drain target. And now I've got a plan with my Treachery. Because rather than having Nin shoot herself, I might as well shoot his guy. So I steal it. I've got the trigger on the stack. He makes another big mistake here. He riffs his own guy in response to this Treachery going on the stack. Now, obviously, if you're going to do this, you do it in response to me using Nin on it, which is almost certainly coming. But he did not do that. I'm going to tap out. Actually, I guess I would leave 2 mana available. How did I do that? That's kind of weird. Oh yeah, I guess for the Condescend. Yeah, that's right. I kept 2 mana untapped for the Condescend, just in case he had another bounce spell, or if he had a some way to burn this creature away. Just because it's such a big swing. If I'm tapping out, Although I guess the trigger is going to go off no matter what. But if I don't get the cards off of that, it's a hell of a lot worse. So I left 2 mana back just for the emergency Condescend in case he did have a 2 mana answer. I figure it's worth it. Since I've already played a land anyway, and I'm probably just going to have to discard some surplus cards. Got 7. Eternal Witness. Well, even though that's a fairly innocuous threat, whatever it gets back is a problem, so might as well just counter the creature. And I'm going to forbid with buyback, because Bloodstained Mire fetches only 1 card in my deck now, which is just the basic mountain, and Chivalry, of course, is just colorless land practically. Buyback the forbid. Urban Evolution. Easy negate target. Actually forgot I had 1 mana in my pool there, so I overspent. Not that it matters too much. Mox Hobble, strip mine. Alright, Nin fully revved up now. And just passes. So, end of turn I could just channel all my mana into this, but again, I'd rather not have him have an answer if I'm fully tapped out. If he has something like a Chaos Warp, I could conceivably actually still lose this game. So, no reason to take that kind of risk. Even a removal spell is really annoying because of how much I'm investing in the activation. So I'm going to just do it for 8. I figure 8 is enough to seal the game, and I've got Forbid as a backup if he does in fact have a method of dealing with it. Sure enough, he starts to tap mana in response. A lot of it. The other reason too is that he could have something like Stroke of Genius or Blue Sun Zenith or something. Some massive blue card drawing card that at the moment I tap out, he draws 1,000,000 cards in response and actually gets right back into the game. So can't have that. Not worth taking the risk at all. He's got some kind of an X spell at instant speed. And I'm almost certain he's going to cast a card drawing spell, but in fact it's Comet Storm. Kicker 9. So I would take 9 from this, and so would Nin. And we are not having that. So for 2 mana I get the Condescended. Very glad I kept mana untapped. So I'm going to need to pause. Alright, key to handled once again. So off the scry, I think I saw land and a Reliquary Tower, and I would certainly like Reliquary Tower right now. So I'm going to put that on top. There it is. And enough cards to almost certainly seal this game. Keep the Divining Top with the Preordain. Play Reliquary Tower for a later tune. Nin is back. God, how gross is it to just draw a billion cards with Nin the Pain Artist, untap, and just put it right back into play again. So crazy. Mystical Tutor on top too. Goes back to his turn. He's just chilling. I'm not really sure what's going on. Maybe he's just waiting to chain some threats together, figuring I have the Forbid still. But if there's one deck you can't really wait against, it's this one. Leaving a bunch of mana untapped here. Nin the Pain Artist activated for 12. That is quite a hand now. There's a Dak Faden on top. That comes to Mr. Dak Faden. Take that Soul Ring. Strip my away land, I think. Yeah, about time to do that. Remember when this game was 10 mana to 5? Mystical Tutor. Look at Amnesia. Find out what those 3 cards are. Kiki Jiki, Palinchron, and Prophet. So I guess he was, in fact, just waiting for a timely moment to play those. Now it's too late. I'm sorry, John Travolta. That's what you get for being a Scientologist. Factor Friction up the top, pretty straightforward. Obviously it's just going to split like that. This is a no-brainer, right? I don't care about Jace at all because I've got Nin the Pain Artist. Oh, land. 19 card hand with Forbid in hand. And I draw 2 cards with Dak as well. This guy's insane. This commander is so, or this Planeswalker is so amazing in EDH. That second ability is completely bonkers also. Especially mid to late game when you just choked on lands and stuff. It's just so incredibly good. And you can use it on your opponent too, if you feel like milling them. Get no cards in hand. Alright, Future Sight, top. Metamorph on top. Just gonna go copy the Soul Ring, I think. Oh no, I'm copying a Mox Diamond, just to get some lands out of my hand. Cover Impersonator. Another Mox Diamond. It's all Mox Diamonds. Killer Lotus shows up. Just doing the dirty deeds now. This is just by the numbers at this point. All academic. I just bribery him and took Oracle. Just put out even more land. He plays a land. These are somewhat asymmetric turns. At the end of the turn, I into the Royal my Metamorph because I want to go and copy something better with it. Oh, and right on schedule, down comes Tezzeret. Dash for 2. Tezzeret untaps. Second Lotus. Out comes Nin again. And Genesis. Let's see. How can I handle Genesis? Let me count the ways. Speeding through the turns here. It's the Snapcaster in the turn. I think I'm just tapping Genesis. Or I don't even know what I got back with that. Probably doesn't really matter. Oh, into the Royal. Okay, back in his hand. Alright, Tez goes ultimate. And Nin watches as her Legion of Doom smashes in for about 70 points of damage. Game over. Pretty long and drawn out. I guess the latter half of this game was really just mop-up mode, but still a pretty dicey early game where we were able to hold it together with just the right order of spells. And once again, Nin the Pain Artist overcomes adversity, and being behind by a lot just has the tools to do that. This is a long recording, Jesus. It's 18 minutes long. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. More to come very soon.